What's up, guys? Episode 3. I'm glad people are still here because it's going to be a great episode. So, what this episode is correlating timeframes. There's a lot that goes into it, but I'm going to make this very simple. So, let's get right into it, and let me show you what to do and what not to do. First off, I'm just going to talk about a bit about what correlating timeframes is, what it does, how it can help you, and what happens if you don't do it. So, straight up, I'm just going to tell you. If you don't correlate your timeframes, you're going to get cooked on the charts. I'm going to show you an example in this exact trade right here on the screen where I didn't correlate my time frame and I genuinely got cooked on this trade. This was about, I think, a month and a half ago. I sent this analysis right into my server. It was USD/JPY in a market maker buy model on the daily. There were highs above on the daily as well as previous day high that I wanted to target and only take longs to. So I said analysis. I said I want price to dip back out into the daily for value gap and offer an hourly, keyword right here, don't forget this, keyword hourly market maker buy model to the highs on the previous day high and to the daily high right above it. As you can see, previous day's high right here as buy side liquidity, and right above it, let me make my camera just a little smaller so you guys can see this. But right there, okay, so previous day highs right here, and literally right above it is the daily high. So that was my full target. So this was when I was a little clouded mentally. I was kind of focused on other stuff. So what did I do? I did not take the hourly setup that I said I was going to take. And guess what happened? Here, I'll actually show you right here live what my setup was. So yeah, right here. Actually, I'll clear all this for you and redraw everything. But as you see, price came into and started trading within this. I took an entry off of 30 minutes. So like I said, I didn't correlate my time frame. Let me make this clear so you can see it. And where's the sweep? Right here, boom. Okay. What did I say happens when you don't correlate your time frames? Get cooked, right? Like, although I saw this on the 30-minute, I didn't wait for the proper setup. You need to correlate your timeframes. Like I covered, I think it was in the past episode or the episode before. Correlating timeframes are weekly goes to the 4 hour. Sorry, let me start higher. Monthly goes to the daily. So if you have a monthly order block or a monthly fair value gap, you have monthly highs above. What you're going to look for is a daily market maker buy or market maker sell model, whichever way you're going to target. Monthly goes with the daily. Weekly goes with the 4 hour. So if you have a weekly fair value gap, you have highs above, you're looking for 4 hour market maker buy model to the highs, correct? Now, daily goes to the hourly, right? Not what I did here. I went to the 30-minute. Like I said, I was a little clouded, wasn't thinking too straight. So I'm like, it looks clean. I'm just going to take it. Let me show you exactly what happened. So, also, don't forget my number one rule, low resistance liquidity, beautifully. Let me show you exactly what happened. Boom, I'm like, oh, and I get cooked. And that was just sad. I got knifed through right there, and what ended up happening? Price ended up going, here, let me just play it out for you completely. Price ended up going, actually, let's go to the hourly, just this quicker. Price went all the way to TP. Just like that. So what did I do wrong? It was very simple what I did wrong. I didn't wait for the right time frame setup. Like I said, you literally get cooked. You will literally get cooked. So as you see, I was liquidating in that instance. And I'm showing you guys this not to show that I took a terrible trade. Obviously I did. I didn't follow that rule there. But I'm showing you this so you don't repeat it, because whatever I do, I want to make sure if I do it wrong, you guys learn from that so you don't repeat that mistake. I don't care if I lose $500 on this trade. I'm paying that $500 so you guys can learn that lesson and not have to pay $500 to learn it yourself. Although you might mess up, although you might learn from that, I want you guys to actually learn from my mistakes, even though I take very minimal mistakes, so you can learn from it and not have to repeat it. So let me go back to this example and show you exactly what the proper setup, why is it dotted? What the proper setup would have been. So sweep of the lows, same exact setup. I kid you not, same exact setup. Sweep, CISD, low resistance liquidity, daily external and internal clear with a very clear draw. Otherwise, I don't take it. So what do we have? Low resistance liquidity, buy side liquidity up here on our daily. So this is clear. I put emphasis on that word. This is very clear. Daily internal to external range liquidity, which was our previous episode. Go ahead and watch that if you need help on that. What's the second thing that forms? Hourly CISD. Boom, right there. I'll mark this for you guys. This will also be covered on another episode when I do imbalances, order blocks, all that type of stuff. But what do I say? You enter off the top of it. Stop loss below the low on the sweep. Oh, that's far. Right there. And TP at the highs. This is a nice 2.08 RR. I remember this exactly because I woke up the next morning and I saw. This is literally what I saw. Where was it? Next morning, saw this and then saw TP. And I'm like, what did I do? I was like, oh, there's no way I just did that. I was pretty pissed off. But yeah, this is how it ran. So as you guys know, CISDs offer a very, very, very beautiful entry. And what have I said before? A wick entry, literally just a wick. Came down, swept out this low. If you wanted a second entry, which I did tell you guys about, I think on one of our live streams. Second entry, sweep right there, and boom, another setup right here. Same exact setup. Same exact setup. Offers obviously a better RR. Totally up to you if you want to take something like that. Sometimes I'll look for second entries, but this is the simplicity of what happens when you do and you do not pair your time frames, correlate your time frames. So I'll show you another example right here. Here's our next example. I was actually on a trip while this trade was playing out, and as you can see, if you went break even at any of these zones, like personally I did, you'd be kind of cut out from this trade. But boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll count that. 8 times our entry zone got tapped in. So very simple. Very, very simple. I'm going to run you by this. I'm going to show you what happens if you do not follow your correlating timeframes. So in this case, what do we have? Sweep of our highs up here, right there, like that. And price shoots down very, very heavily. So what am I looking for? I'm still looking to go short because our weekly lows were below and our objective was to go lower. I wouldn't take a long, obviously, until like a daily setup starts to form long. Remember, follow the trend. The trend is literally your friend. If you don't follow the trend, it's like correlating your time frames. You're going to get cooked on the charts. So what do we have? We have a sweep right here, break structure right here, and my entry model is always the same. What did I just say? Always the same, or at least usually the same. So in this case right here, hourly CISD after our sweep, boom, and we've got all here. Actually, I'll go back in time. Whoa, look at that. I'm a time traveler. So we have liquidity starting to build up down here. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for an entry at the CISD right here. And I will run you through this very long process. This is the hourly time frame, by the way. So it looks good. It's dumping, and you're like, okay, sure, I'll go break even. And boom, you're at a break even again. And you're like, oh, this looks so nice. And finally, TP hits right there. So overall, very ugly. This was pre-election, so it's kind of assumed that something like this would happen. But let me show you what would happen if you don't wait for your proper setup. Let's just say we're looking at the 30-minute right here. Let's see. So you have a tap in right there, and you're like, oh my gosh, guys, this looks so good. Let's take this. Oh, 30-minute. Wow. This is a bigger RR. It's a 4 RR. Ooh, that's sad. Do you see what I mean? So we're looking for pretty much the same exact setup. In my opinion, this is a pretty similar setup. But yeah, didn't correlate your time frame. What happened? That's what happened. So let me show you what this trade looks like and the idea coming behind it. I don't know what this big box is. So idea coming out of this right here, right? We are very, very high up right here. Obviously, I'm in replay mode. I'm just showing this as an example on a trade. We're in very, very high up right here. So I don't think we're going to go higher until we get a retrace. I think this is a weekly fair value gap. Yeah. So we also inverted that, which means that low was our prominent thing. Like I said, weekly lows below. So what do we end up doing? We put a daily fair value gap in right here. Actually, I will write this right here for you guys, just so you don't forget it again, because I know a lot of you are going to forget this. So what do you have? Monthly to daily, weekly to 4 hour, daily to 1 hour, 4 hour to 15 minute, 1 hour to 5 minute, 15 minute to 1 minute. You need to correlate your time frames like this. I put this basically everywhere. It's on my reels, it's in my Discord, it's in every live call. I always tell you guys correlate your time frames because I have experience on what happens when you don't correlate your time frames. In the example I showed you, when I started out trading, I didn't know anything about correlating time frames. I would see, oh, an hourly fair value gap, and then boom, straight into the 1 minute. I'm taking a long, I get stopped out, I get all pissed off, I hit my desk, I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then I've come to realize through these 4 years of trading, like, correlate your time frames. I don't know. If anyone wants to count that in this video on how many times I've said correlate your time frames as a phrase, go ahead. It's probably going to be over 100. So, what time frame are we on right now? We're on the daily, right? Let me mark this for you. We're on the daily right now, right? So, what does that mean? We look for hourly market maker sell model. Hourly positions. So price comes down, taps into our order block we put in here, and continues lower. In versus that, I'm like, okay, beautiful. We're going to take out these lows. We'll go for our weekly lows. If you go to the 4 hour and look for an entry, maybe you'll find something. If you go to the 15 minute, you will get cooked. Go to the hourly. That's where you find your setup. My entry model personally might be different than yours just off of what you'd like to take. I prefer taking CISDs after a sweep. If I have a market structure shift, if I have a break structure, all that's added confluence. But as you guys know, from video 1, some into video 2, any of my reels, any of my live streams, anything that I've done, I take a sweep, I take a CISD, I take targeting, opposing liquidity with low resistance. If I don't have all of those, I don't take it. If I have extra, great, thank you. But I'm just trying to show you guys here what happens. Remember that 30-minute position? You got stopped out. Obviously, this was not the best PA. It was pretty disgusting, to be honest. But the point is, look how it ended up playing out. That's the point right there, on the hourly. So, going back to, where did it go? Disappear? Was it on the daily? Aha, there it is. Going back to this right here. Why would you not follow this? It's simple. Why would you lower your probability in trades? Like I've said in my previous videos, if you're on the daily time frame and you take something on the 5 minute, sure, maybe it'll play out. I'm not saying it's not going to. Maybe you have that one lucky trade that plays out and you're like, whoa, I'm a magician, I figured it out. You did not. You did not figure it out. So that's what I'm leading into. Why would you go against what is literally right in front of you, proven to work, and go against it? It's like, are you trying to prove me wrong? Are you trying to prove yourself right? What are you trying to do? If someone comes up to you and gives you a blueprint to build a house, are you going to pull out a blueprint to build a submarine? It's like, come on. I'll go over this one more time. I'm going to keep this video pretty short and simple. Monthly time frame, you look for a daily setup. Weekly time frame, you look for a 4 hour setup. Daily time frame, you look for an hourly setup. 4 hour time frame, you look for a 15-minute setup. Hourly time frame, look for a 5-minute setup. And 15-minute time frame, you look for a 1-minute setup. Obviously, like I said, you're going to have times where, let's just say you see something play out. It's like an hourly fair value gap and it's a 1-minute setup. Sure. It's 1 in 10 times that it'll work out. Like I say, would you rather follow trend out of 10 times? Let's say you're following trend out of 10 times. 9 times out of 10, following the trend will work. And that 1 time out of 10 that you get stopped out because it's reversing, I would take that any day rather than going against the trend 9 times out of 10 and getting stopped out and winning that 1 out of 10 trade. So I'm going to leave you with one final example and maybe even yell at you just a little more at the end. But this was actually a trade. I sent it in my Discord. I took this one. Actually, while I was in New York, I remember I was in my hotel room, got my laptop. I hate trading on the laptop, but I'm charting it out, and I'm with my boy. I'm like, dude, this actually looks like a beautiful setup. I sent it in the Discord. I don't know how many people took it. I think definitely over 50 people, but ended up hitting TP. So let me run you by what was behind this trade. So we have our weekly fair value gap right here. I'm not going to yell at you. What time frame goes with the weekly, right? Obviously, you can see what this one is. This is the 4 hour. So like I said, correlate your time frame. Whole idea of the video. Take your weekly, go down into the 4 hour. Take your entry off the 4 hour. What do we get? I've said it every single time. The entry is the same on my model. A sweep of a low and a CISD. Obviously, I said I'll cover CISDs in another video, but look, it's simple. Sweep of a low. I want to make trading as simple as possible for everyone here. You can copy my model. You can add your own confluences to it. You can take a confluence from it, but I'm making this as simple as possible. Internal range liquidity, external range liquidity, draw on liquidity, low resistance. Here I'm counting. That's for CISD, sweep. 6 things you need. I'm not telling you you need 50 indicators. I'm not telling you you need 35 different confluences to enter. I'm not telling you if you don't know every little thing that you're going to fail. Look, it's this simple. Sweep right here. Boom. That low's not coming back to. I'm very confident. CISD right here. Boom. Entry off of that. So what does price do? Price pushes in. Goes to TP. I'm going to run you by this actually right now, just to show you a live example of what this looked like. I was in my hotel room. Watch this. This is obviously over a few days on my trip, but just like that, and TP hit. It was that simple. If you wanted to keep holding, like I did tell some of you guys, you had higher highs above, but I was just targeting weekly external range liquidity. I think this is previous week high, and those ended up getting hit too. Right there, I remember. Boom, right there. So overall, this was a 3.8 R, beautiful. That was a 5.6. I don't know how many people took that. But what's the beauty about this? I followed my rule. I had a sweep right here. Boom, checklist, mark that off. CISD right here. Boom, checklist, mark that off. Low resistance liquidity right here. Boom, checklist, mark that off. Weekly external range liquidity, as you guys can see right here in the form of a weekly fair value gap. Boom, mark that off. Weekly external from the internal. Boom, mark that off. Highs, what am I saying? Highs here and then highs up here if you guys want to take it. Boom, mark that off. Most importantly, what is it? Time frames. 4 hour, weekly. Boom, mark that off. I'll take this trade any day. And as you guys can see, obviously it played out because I did everything I wanted. In trading, not everything's going to play out no matter how good of a trade this looks. If this did something like this and then started dumping, I'm happy. I took the same exact trade, but most importantly, I followed my plan. That's the biggest thing you got to do in trading. I don't care how many trades you take in a day. I don't care if you're taking 20 trades. Is it your plan? Sure, follow it. I don't care if you take 1 trade a month. Is that your plan? Sure, follow it. I don't care. Follow your plan and you'll see success in trading. So I guess I'm going to leave it off with this one last thing. If you don't follow your plan, this is quite simple, or quite literally the basics of following your plan. If you can't correlate the time frames, something as simple as that, if you can't do something that you know is crucial in trading, you're not going to be successful in trading. I promise you that. And that's why I'm here to help. Like, legitimately, I'm making these videos for free. I'm teaching you my entire strategy for free. I'm showing you the basics from A to Z. I'm showing you confluences I use. I'm giving you confluences you can use in case you don't want to use mine, or if you want to add on to it. It all stems down to follow your plan. If you don't, you will not be successful in trading. If you follow your plan one day, next day you don't, it's even worse because you're not consistent. What's the 3 things I say you need in trading? Other than what I have up here. You need to be patient for entries. You need to be disciplined to take your proper setups. You need to be fearless so you're not scared to take anything. But what's the biggest thing I say in trading and outside? I know I'm yapping, but this is to help you guys. You need consistency overall. If you're not consistent with anything in life, you're not going to be successful. Let's say you have a job. Let's say you're just working at a bank as a teller. First thing I thought of. If you're not showing up to work every single day, you're probably going to get fired, right? you showing up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's showing consistency. Why do you think they want to keep you hired? You're doing what you're told. You're following your plan, even though it's not a trading plan, obviously, it's a bank. You're following what you're told. You're being consistent. You're showing up every day. Let's say you're sick one day. You still show up. That's consistency. That's discipline. It all goes back to everything else, like in the gym. Let's say you're going to the gym every single day. You have a plan to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday's your off day. Let's say Monday is push, Tuesday is pull, Wednesday's legs, and you repeat the cycle, and then Sunday's your rest day. If you're not feeling the best, you're just a little tired on Monday, or let's say you go Monday, Tuesday you're a little tired. You don't want to go. What is that? You don't have consistency if you don't go, no matter how you're feeling. It's the same with trading. You need to show up every day. You need to show up prepared mentally. You need to show up knowing that you're going to conquer the markets. Monday, follow your plan. Okay? Sure. Good job. Pat yourself on the back. Say, good job. I followed my plan. Tuesday. If you don't follow your plan on Tuesday, you're throwing away all the progress you've made in the last 4 years. For me, yesterday, what was yesterday? Tuesday. Okay, I didn't get filled on a trade by 0.25 ticks. What did I do? Did I start revenge trading? No, I made a Discord announcement about this. I made a Instagram broadcast channel about this announcement. I said, what's the last thing I did? I didn't start revenge trading. Why would I do that? If I revenge traded, I'm just hurting my progress throughout the last 4 years of trading. So that's, I guess, the last thing I'm like trying to talk about here. Follow your plan and nothing else. This is step 1 of following your plan. Being disciplined, being consistent, and just correlating the time frames. It's literally, like, I kid you not, it's step 1. If you don't just put the right time frames together, it doesn't matter if you have the best confluence in the world. It doesn't matter if you have nothing at the confluence. It doesn't matter if you have a sweep, break of structure, market structure shift, CISD, fair value gap, inverse, confirmation to the upside, low resistance. As I showed you in the USD JPY example, I had everything. I had low resistance liquidity. I had buy side liquidity. I had a sweep at the low. I had a keyword correlating timeframes, 30-minute CISD, which was not the proper one. I had everything. I had daily internal and daily external range. It still didn't work because I didn't follow step 1. I didn't correlate my timeframes. So I'm going to leave you guys there. Hopefully this video helps you guys, but I will see everyone in episode 4. Enjoy.